Let's rock and roll. So, Jason, you said how long did you say it's been since you saw yourself on video, or whenever somebody?
At least a year, I'd say.
At least a year or so. And we kind of joked about it, but back then it was kind of like, oh yeah, I know I'm doing this or that wrong. Like, was there anything that?
Just the catch and a pause in my right hand.
You feel like
See
there's
it
a
right
pause there, yeah.
Yep, a hesitation, and I can't make it break that.
Gotcha. Yeah, great body position. When I was just kind of watching you warm up, just looking at feet up near the surface of the water. You can't have legs that sink with your feet up there. So
And I feel like I enter with my elbows, like slap them down or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, I've tried to fix that, but
it's not horrible, for something like that to be happening.
Right.
I think it's just kind of a little like fine tuning. When I look at your stroke, I think that's what I'm thinking. Okay, it's going to be a couple of little minor tweaks and adjustments, maybe a drill or two that help you make you a little bit more aware of that. Allow you to get that hand in a little bit cleaner versus like the whole arm you can see kind of comes
Right.
down in the water all at once. Okay,
and I'm
and you see the braking. Yeah, I see the braking
right
happen
there.
there, right? Okay. Potentially, maybe just keeping the head nice and still a little bit.
And I've got I think I do go a little bit deep on one of my feet. It's like I got a weird rhythm with my kick that I've been noticing, and I
Yeah.
can't break it.
Right.
It's probably with the breath. And maybe
Yeah.
it's not an issue. I don't know. I'm just saying the things that I...
Yeah, so let's, what's your, hour 15 is your Ironman.
I think that, I think with the wetsuit, that's like a 154 per 100
yeah, I need my
meter.
cheat sheet.
I think that's meters.
That'd be meters.
Yeah.
My cheat sheet here, so an hour 15 would be about a 159.
Okay.
And that's wetsuit, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's some good speed there. There's definitely some more that can be unlocked. Okay, and you mentioned you feel like your kick kind of was maybe inconsistent. Maybe we can use that word, or your one foot does something.
Yeah, my
right?
left foot. Yeah, goes too deep.
So let's take a look here. Again, boil it down to two things: drag, decreased drag, increased propulsion.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we be finding some drag? So that kick might be happening right
Mm-hmm.
there. So something that's happened here. Let's just look at this real quick. Let's back it up a second. As your right arm here kind of recovers over the water. And here again, you might just be anticipating your breath there to the right side. Did I say right arm or left arm? Left arm.
Okay.
Breathing to the right side. And then look what happens here to just kind of like your form and your posture here at this point. It's almost like we're kind of like there's moments where the whole body's just kind of curved.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a fishtailing kind of action that happens. So to tune that up, let's talk about arm entry and alignment. Lining that entry up just a little bit better. Now we'll look underneath the water too. We've got a lot of splash here, but it's almost at this point, the arm kind of like wraps forward around the head just a little bit. And then I suspect under the water,
I can breathe both sides, but I default to the right. I like always
Okay.
default to the right. Like
Yep.
anytime.
So when you swim,
Like if
do you do one side or two sides? Like in the,
You know
just
what,
whatever feels right.
if I'm swimming hard, it's always to the right. If I'm just cool, if I'm warming up or cooling down, I'll alternate links. But I don't usually don't bilateral. Like I'll
Like
go
every
left,
third stroke,
No,
you'll
I'll
go left
like,
side, right side.
Well, I'll go
left
left
side.
side down, right side back. That's
Gotcha.
how I do it.
Okay.
But I'm definitely lifting that hand.
Yeah. Yeah. So there again, remember we're when you're breathing, or when you're turning your head to the side, what's usually the thing that you're actually thinking about?
Breathing.
It's actually
Yeah,
breathing,
yeah.
right? So just probably not even aware that braking action's happening, right? Just because it's
Yep,
never even
I
been a
see
thing
that
that
right there.
we've needed to think about. Okay. And with that, I think that just causes a little bit of like that, a little tiny bit of like torquing action to kind of happen. And then most of the, as far as your catch goes, it's more
Push it
like
down, too.
you're propping yourself up for your breath there than, remember we saw Rebecca
Right.
Adlington, right?
Right.
Maybe a little bit better there with the non-breathing stroke, right? Not exactly, right? Yeah. But then maybe we just lose the elbow there. See that? The other term we hear a lot is dropping the elbow.
Right.
Okay. So maybe a little bit of that happening
Oh, I'm dropping it.
there. Yeah.
Kind of almost like I'm pulling my arm through instead of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there. That's your breathing stroke. It's almost like I just need to get to the breath. So let's get that arm out of the way. Okay. It's actually not continue with any sort of like propulsive action. Right?
So you swim and he can talk to you while he's swimming. See, we need to package you up in this like little guy and put you in our. So when we swim, you can tell.
I can talk to you and yeah.
The good swimmers make it look so easy.
I know.
They do make
Effortless.
it look so easy.
Like that Rebecca when she flip turns and she does that little dolphin.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, "Oh."
Got a little wiggle in that hand.
There is. So that's again just kind of what we want to like iron out here. It's more like, Jason, we just kind of need to like refine things just a little bit. Smooth out the rough edges. Okay. Makings for like a really nice quote smooth stroke. Okay. Take that insofar as like the smooth swim type, right? Because you've got kind of like the height and athletic build, to have that style of stroke. I think we just got to clean up that front end. Breathing and exhalation, that's good. Let's tidy up the front end. Let's watch a little further along here. Let's get to over here. Yeah. I needed you to push back a little bit so I could get more of a full body. Get all of you in the frame.
Maybe I just need to shave.
I was going to tell you.
It'd
that
be
I
so
think
much
you'd be-
faster.
I was going to say, I think you would be a lot faster for you.
You know what? I didn't have this beard. I've only had it about a year, and it didn't make.
Is
any
that
difference.
right?
It didn't make it any
Man.
different. It didn't make it any different.
I have, seeing yours, I have beard goals, man.
Well, my wife's not over it.
I know, I was going to say, I like the trim.
Did anything
I
inspire it?
Just hadn't had one before. A
Yeah.
bigger beard. I mean, I had beards.
Kept one
that-
like this, yeah?
But just
Yeah.
wanted to go longer.
You should go down here.
Well, she keeps making me get a trim.
Oh,
You
no.
what?
She keeps making me get a trim.
All right, so let's start here, Jason. So let's, from above water here, just for example, let's just work on the alignment, almost the same way that we kind of, Amy, worked on just setting up your catch a little bit. Just getting. We talked about like getting the hand in the right position, the whole arm in the right position. I think, Jason, we just need to get it like, rather than up or down, it's like keep it from going in or keep it going
So wider.
just a touch wider.
That's wider.
You know, making that where we aim it as far as like setting up the catch. Okay.
Okay.
We'll go through a little sequence similar like we did with Amy, because we've seen a few things happen. We've seen those brakes come on, right? The braking action of the hand there, and then that elbow dropping here with the right arm during that stroke. Okay, so working on how do we keep that arm over the barrel. Okay, I told Amy down there, like, we got your arm going over the barrel without even like thinking about it getting over the barrel. Let's do a little bit of that sculling and that doggy paddle drill. That in itself just kind of takes you there. Okay, but I think we need to do a couple things. Just line things up with a little more purpose and better alignment as far as your arms go, and then developing what's going on beneath the surface of the water there. Okay. There's one other drill. So you picked up on your arm just kind of like coming down all at once on the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this could have to do a little bit with. Let's just take another look. See you from the front again.
So the guys I swim with, like,
Yeah.
what would just, I don't know what it means, but the drills we do fist, and then we'll do the fist swim drill.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can always swim with that. Then the minute
Yeah.
we go to catch up,
Yeah.
I can't swim catch up.
Okay. How so? What do you mean?
I
there?
just, like, I get dropped left and right. I mean,
Okay.
I'm way slower on catch up than
Sure.
I am on the other.
Like compared to those guys, like when
Yeah.
they're doing catch up, they
Yeah.
seem to just pull away.
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, I don't understand how I can swim with them with fist and or around them with fist,
Yeah.
and then when I go to catch up,
Yeah.
it's
See, the one good thing about your stroke is just it's like kind of consistent rhythm. Okay, and that might just be from years of
I've been doing
Ironman
a lot of
swimming,
catch up,
you know.
Well, I mean, I've been doing a
Yeah,
lot
so
of
I
drills
would
and
like
stuff.
caution against the catch up, right? Because you saw there's a little bit of that hesitation with the right
Right.
arm. We don't want to overdo that. Again, water's 800 times more dense than air.
Gotta keep
If
it
you
going.
stop and pause, right, you immediately slow down. Okay. Instead of the catch-up drill, something to consider would be, and we'll try this out because we're going to work a little bit on just your stroke alignment, is a drill like this. So one will substitute for the catch-up drill is this right here called the 6-1-6 drill.
I do fingertip or like drag my fingertips a lot.
Okay,
but I
okay.
don't do that.
All right, so what we're trying to accomplish here, one, is it's kind of a building or a stepping stone to the kicking on the side drill that you saw Amy do. Only now what we do is we just incorporate a stroke, one stroke at a time. So theoretically, you'd be kicking on the side for about 6 seconds or 6 leg kicks. And then you take one very nice straight stroke and then just get into that same position just on the opposite side now. Okay, so less focused on the arm recovery or the fingertips or that kind of thing, but more on the alignment. Okay, so you can see, other than that little wobble that the swimmer has at the front of the stroke there, just how straight his arm is and just set up out front. Okay. So we'll start with that. Actually, so we'll do a length of kicking on the side, and then make this kind of a stepping stone. The next step is incorporate a stroke here, one at a time, just to get that alignment set up. Then, building just further on that, rather than just one stroke at a time, up to 3. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, and then kicking on the side. Okay, it gets to feeling a little bit more like we're actually swimming,
Okay.
but we're holding that nice good posture and alignment during those 3 strokes. Okay. And then this might be a little bit of a challenge, but see if you can do it. We have a drill called the broken arrow drill. And this is let's have us take a look at that arm entry. So where you had that arm that just kind of all hits the water at the same time. Well, it might just be because we haven't got like the clearance, or maybe you've started to kind of rotate back over,
Okay.
and We haven't gotten quite the timing of your body rotation quite nailed down just yet. So this drill goes like this. So you start off kicking on the side, raise one arm straight up into the air. That effectively becomes like your arrow. And then break the arrow by bending and following through the stroke. Okay, now you don't have to do this funky little like pop kind of thing that you see him do. We can just simply go from straight up in the air to arm entry. Okay, and what you'll feel, Jason, when you do that, over here, right now, where you're kind of like just placing the whole arm down, you'll just still be on the side just a little bit, and you'll be able to spear that arm forward with a little bit better coordination, a little bit better timing. As far as the arm entry point and how that goes, obviously we don't want the whole hand coming down all at once. But if you were to do things right, and we can look at, just to pull up an example again, let's pull up Rebecca, okay? Oops. What does she do? Where's our side view here? We see those fingertips just kind of spear into the water first, right? And then there's this like little window, this little open window right there. Okay, right in there. Now, ironically, if you're looking, let's look at our left arm again one more time. Okay, so the fingertips kind of go into the water. If you're using the other arm as like a measure or a comparison, right about like halfway between, like the head and the wrist. Okay, that's where it should go. Okay. We'll just kind of use that broken arrow drill to maybe just get a little bit of a feel for it. But if you're watching Rebecca, if you look at her right arm, it's doing what yours does. The whole arm slaps. Double.
She's grabbing some water.
But she's grabbing some water, yeah.
She's grabbing a bunch of water.
Yeah. So the story behind this is this: they were able to film her. This was sometime like just before the 2012 Olympics, and Paul Newsome is the one who filmed this, and you see this stuff, but like she has her own coach and all this kind of stuff. So he kind of has he didn't say anything, but he found out later on that was something that her and her coach were actually working on. Yeah, because they picked it up.
Probably so.
So it's kind of a hard thing to spot, but yeah, you see her like whole arms just kind of slapping down. A little inefficiency there, even in the pointy end of the field up there, right? The fastest swimmers in the world still have their little quirks. Okay.
I keep thinking of Dara Torres. Have you read that book, Age is Just a Number?
No, I haven't read her book.
Oh my gosh, it cracks me up because, she swam her whole life, won all those awards in the Olympics.
Yep.
But she didn't swim for 7 years.
Yes.
She said she would go to a pool, jump in, jump out. She just hated it and was over it.
That's all she ever did, yeah, for
and
years,
then
yeah.
she came back again.
Yeah.
To be that good, that would be so cool.
Yeah, so just for some review, some sculling. So after we get the stroke lined up, we try that little broken arrow drill real quick. Just review some sculling. We'll do the same little sequence that you saw Amy do. Sculling, doggy paddle drill, freestyle, just to see how that feels. Okay. Just for a quick look. Same deal there. And with all of this kind of said and done, Jason, as far as technique goes, again, I think it's just a little bit of some fine-tuning, some ironing out the rough edges. What I'd encourage you to do is look hard at, well, both of you, let's consider your training. That. So here's what I mean. So we talked about Mondays being like a technique day. Over here in the Guru, you can take a quick look at this. If you go to the training category, just to give kind of like your weekly schedule some
Make sure to
structure. Of course, Paul has this video here called Structuring Your Training Week. But basically what I encourage everybody here anyways to do is we have 2 squad sessions every week. Tuesdays is the technique day. Sometimes it's just pure technique. Like we don't do any intervals. We don't do anything like too strenuous. Sometimes, depending on the time of the season, we might have a little bit of endurance or some conditioning mixed in with that. But usually Tuesdays are pretty low key, pretty chill. And Thursdays are like our threshold interval day. That's where we're really kind of building the diesel engine that you need to just crush a half iron or full iron distance. So if you're swimming 3 times a week, what I usually say is a technique day, an endurance day. If it's half, depending on kind of your training block, if it's half Ironman you're building up to, I think it'd be fine with one of these what we call CSS development sessions. Right here under training library. So these are in the library here. They're anywhere between like 2400 to 3,000 meters, and very focused on, or you would have done, say, a lactic threshold swim test. Okay, or kind of what that pace is. Basically, it's the equivalent of your 1,500 meter freestyle time trial average pace. But Swim Smooth has a test that you can do.
The one I've done before is 3,300s with like 30 seconds rest, and use that average time.
And then just take the average time.
T-pace,
Yeah. T-pace, yeah, exactly. So it's the exact same thing, right? So these workouts are all based off of that.
In yards.
If it's a half, or if it's full Ironman distance, you might substitute that endurance day with what these guys call the red mist endurance, which could be like a 3,000 to 5,000 meter workout, but it's pretty hard. Those are pretty long, hard workouts. Okay, there might be a little bit of pole buoy and paddles mixed in there, but again, the pacing is all based off your T pace. Okay, but it's designed, even though it's a pool workout, it's structured to kind of feel like a long open water swim, where when you first get in, the first maybe 15-20 minutes, you feel good, and you're maybe swimming really fast, but you have to be careful of that, okay?
Because it gets hard.
Because it does get hard. So there's 2 ways that can all play out, right? Regardless, it's going to get hard, right? So is it going to get hard and you still be like holding your pace, or is it going to get hard and you completely tanked? Yeah. So that's what these 2 types of endurance workouts are designed to do. And then your third workout each week could be either an open water swim, just get out there, do some open water, or like a pool-based open water session where you include some open water skills like drafting or sighting or these types of things. Okay, if you have more workouts or more opportunities to swim every week, then this little structuring your week video that'll give you an idea of kind of like how to do things. But I think you could really make some gains if you get really, really focused on the training aspect. Using that T pace, and these workouts, some of these workouts in there, that's how you structure the training intensities on any given session. And I think you'll really find you get a big benefit out of that. 5-6 weeks of consistently adding, one of those sessions to your schedule each week, you'll see some significant gains there. Okay. You also kind of learn that pacing aspect. So when you get out there on race day, you don't have. So we use the little. During those sessions, you use one of these little tempo trainers.
I have one, but
do you have one?
I have not been using it.
Okay. So maybe not to get into all of that here, but there is plenty of information in here to help you, understand how to set all that up and everything. So if you've already got one, you're halfway there. You just need to learn, just need to do the swim test, or just need to know what your CSS pace is or your T pace, and then in the website here, actually, you just plug that number in. There's a spot under CSS training. Whenever it gets there, you just plug that time in right here and save it. And then when you pull up any workout over in the right-hand margin, it tells you exactly what mode and what number to put on your beeper. And you're off to the races. Okay. So let's hop in and do a little technique work. Alrighty.